Hey everybody, come join me for a quick coffee break. A little bit of a testing thing going on. Testing thing going on. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to try something here. Testing thing going on. Now I'm also going to go over to Facebook, or not Facebook, over to. So YouTube. I'm going to try something here. And lo and behold, testing. Look what we have thing going on. We've got comments. Booyah! That's right. I told you we'd be doing some R&D this weekend, and sure enough, so I'm going to try something. It works. And lo and behold, testing. Look what we have thing going on. We've got comments. Comes together. Booyah! That's right. Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. I mean, this puts everything back into perspective. Absolutely. Hello, and hello. So no matter where you're at, whether or not you're watching us over at Facebook or whether or not you're watching us on YouTube, we're going to be able to put the comments back in because you know what? We really honestly felt like that was a big thing that was missing. Really? A big thing that was missing. And sure enough, yeah, the echo you probably heard was my headphones. And probably because I don't have everything super duper running, and I was running a couple things at the same time. So that's why I had my YouTube on. It was coming in through, like, let's see. And probably because, yeah, I had my YouTube, I had my YouTube channel going up through my mixer. So yeah. So now the only thing is I can show comments that come up over in Facebook. Let's see. Let me take a look here. You know what? Oh, I see. Facebook and YouTube comments are showing up, so I can actually put them up. Doesn't necessarily have pictures, but it shows where they came from, whether it be Facebook or whether or not it be YouTube. And yeah, the conversations were the best part, Brandon. I mean, that's the thing that we were really trying to work out. And so what we were trying to do, I'll be honest with you, we were trying to do it in such a way where it wasn't going to cost us an arm and a leg and someone else's arm to do it. This works. And costs us a couple bucks more, quite literally a couple bucks more a month. So, yeah. And yeah, it makes the show feel like a group chat more than just a podcast. And I mean, granted, you know, we really appreciated those comments and stuff like that. Yeah, it indicates the site, not the photo. You know what? I'll take it. I'll be honest with you. I'll take it. It looks great. So, and I got some dark side roast in my cup. I am a happy camper. This is pretty epic. I'm really glad. I'm really excited about this. You know, we do a lot of research to try to figure out what's going to be best for the show, and having everything come up on one display really helps us, and this really helps us do some other things. We'll be making it a little bit more appealing as well. Someone's drinking Bob Slaughter's brew. Tresha, how are you doing? And to me, this works. To me, this works out pretty well. So I'm pretty pumped. Yes, I am just ecstatic. How are you guys all doing? How are you guys doing on a Saturday morning? I mean, it's a beautiful Saturday. I got a haircut. Check it out. You don't see the bushies coming out anymore. Got my eyebrows trimmed because these things are like caterpillars. It's one of those things. Got myself some coffee. Had myself some breakfast. I think it's time for me to turn on my media server in the back. So I'm just going to say, hey, Alexa, turn on Plex server. Okay. In a moment there, my computer back there will turn on. Let's see. Yep. And Chris is also saying, hey, depending on the weather, stay tuned for live streams from a park tonight. And Chris, I'm going to try. There's a way to do this very same thing. Well, not very same thing, but be able to stream from both areas using this, using the services that we just subscribed to. But not what are we chatting about, Trisha? Hey, I'm just doing some testing, to be honest with you, and kind of testing out this new feature because we're also live over at YouTube, as well as over here on Facebook Live. There are some other things. There are some other things that I really like about this software. Get this. You remember last year and the year before for our 12-hour live stream marathon to support Give Kids the World? I bet you do. And if you don't, it's coming up on May 18th. Yeah, a couple months from now, but still, you got to plan now. This will actually allow us to stream nonstop. That's right, nonstop for 12 hours. Nonstop for 12 hours. How's that? And we're going to be able to stream from both YouTube and Facebook nonstop for 12 hours. Woo. Yeah. I love Saving Mr. Banks. Great movie. Absolutely fabulous movie. Darren, how you doing? I'd say you're looking good too, but I can't see you. But I bet you're doing awesome, and I hope you are. Yes, live stream not come on a smart display. It shows on a live stream does not come up on the smart display. On the smart display, it shows previous streams though. And I know who this guy is. This guy's a troublemaker. That's who he is. He's a troublemaker. All he does is study all day long, and oh my gosh. Yeah, all this guy does, all he does is study and tries to increase awesomeness and reduce world suck. What kind of kid does he think he is? If you haven't figured it out. Anyway, yeah, we won't get cut off. There's one drawback. You can't save it within Facebook, and that's fine. It's fine by me. Might need a break a couple times. Well, we'll be bringing in different people in order to do that sort of thing, to give us a little bit of a break. Anyway, we can briefly see the screens that you are seeing. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'll share my screen. It's going to look weird. But that's my screen. And so as you can see over here is all the different Facebook, and then of course, YouTube comments. This is down here. Down here is where I bring people in. I can control how things look. I hear my son laughing in the back, downstairs. It's kind of neat, how you can do. If there's more than one person, this is how I'm able to change things. Like if I want, I can do that instead. Yeah, that's our interface, and it's really pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing now. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, no more 4-hour cutoff, and we're gonna probably test it. So, Trish says hi. Let's see. We have Mary Poppins returns from work on DVD to watch this weekend. That's cool. I know that I hope to get it soon myself. Yep, that was a bunch of windows behind me. Oh, were you talking about behind me? Oh, you mean wait. There we go. The pictures. I'll have to show you. Right now. We've been using StreamYard instead of BeLive for a couple months now, and it's really working well. And then we use another product to basically split it off to go over to YouTube. And literally with some annual discounts and stuff like that, we're only paying like $2 more a month, and I can handle that. And to the person whoever bought a shirt or something on our store the other day, it doesn't tell me who. So if someone bought a shirt, I really appreciate it because that actually helped do this, to be honest with you. But yeah, and John, I'll be more than happy to show you some other things on the side as well. So, hey, Jerry. Hey, Mallory. How y'all doing? So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. I mean, this is something we've been working towards. And we're also we've been trying to do this without spending an arm and a leg in someone else's arm. So I locked in some great prices for the next year. Basically trying to make sure I hit deals when they come in. Yeah. Anyway, what are your plans for this weekend? I don't have a whole lot planned for this weekend. It's one of those cases where I got to clean up my office a little bit. I got to do a couple things from work that I didn't get done yesterday. I'm going to help my wife by cleaning up the kitchen. Kathy's not been feeling too well. She actually got, I think, a worse version of what I had earlier this week. So she actually went to the doctor. Fortunately, it's nothing too serious, but they did give her some antibiotics in order to kind of make sure that it doesn't settle in her chest type of thing. And she's at work right now. So let's see. Oh, what decluttering? You know what? Yeah. And I'm trying to do a little bit more decluttering here and there. I mean, my office is hell of a lot cleaner than it has been in the past. I'll be really honest with you. But every once in a while, I just need to go through and I got to do it more often than not. So let's see. Yeah, soon. Oh man. So I want to go so bad so soon, but no, not soon enough. Although I will tell you, the funny part is that since it's kind of a nice day out, it's not really warm out, but I was going to start doing a little bit of the series that kind of bouncing around. Some people have been interested in about, getting your vehicle ready for the road trip. And I was actually going to try to do that this week, but Kathy got called into work and she took Diz truck one with her. I forgot to tell her to take my car this morning. So it's one of those things. It's one of those things where I kind of wanted to do, but just didn't get a chance. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Trish. It feels good when it's done. Probably not. It's a good product. I'll tell you right now, BeLive is a good product. I'm not going to talk bad about it. It is a good product. I've enjoyed using them. I think this product is a little bit better and it's going to suit our needs a lot better, especially doing with what we're trying to do. Thanks. So I've enjoyed it. And you know what? Both of them have free options. Unfortunately, in order to get some of the advanced features, you have to pay. Not really a big deal. Yeah, now you notice there's no StreamYard logo. Soon that'll end up having a Behind the Ears podcast logo. So let's see. Do you think we're going to the opening of Galaxy's Edge? I may be, but I don't know yet. Because Danny and I also don't. Well, here's the thing. I said I wasn't going to, and the chances are I'm not. I'm still toying on it, but I don't think I'm going to. But here's the deal. Danny and I have already said that at the end of September, about a month into it, we're going to be going because we're going to the Food and Wine Festival. We have a room reserved for the last week of September, right after the Indie Disney meet. In fact, it'd be like going to the Indie Disney meet and the next day hitting a jet airplane down to Orlando. So I'm looking, we're looking forward to it. Right now, that is part of our plan. The room is reserved and the deposit was put down. So that's what we're planning. Still hoping that's going to be the case. Anything can change right now, right? So Danny and I are just kind of working on those types of things. But yeah, I mean, we totally agree. We both want to. Here's the thing. And forgive me because this may be a topic of conversation in the near future. There have been a lot of people that have said, there's no way in heck far I'm going to go during that opening. In fact, some people have said they're changing their vacation plans to either before or long after in order to not have to deal with Galaxy's Edge. I totally get it. It's understandable. And it's kind of one of those things where you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to be like. And then again, I have some other people like, I've got my room. I'm going to be there. And like, it's one of the cases like, and it's really, I mean, Brian here says, I'm not missing it. Yeah, I think it would be great. I mean, I think it would be too. I have to make some decisions though. And Danny and I think that it would be better use of our time to go during Food and Wine. It's also easier for him to get that week off that we're going to Food and Wine than in August. Like anything else, different jobs, different companies have different ways of I'll say controlling vacation. That's not really the one, making sure everybody's on the right vacation schedules and stuff like that. I have a very flexible schedule. So I can pretty much take off, anytime I want, because I also have a lot of vacation time because I've been with the company for so long. So I'm very flexible. I've already got it scheduled. It's not really a problem. It is also really easy for Brian. He lives down the street. He doesn't have to worry about hotels, that type of thing. I think it's kind of funny. Yeah, it's going to be a streaming overload. A month would be great, to show what's flowing and not flowing. I agree. I mean, Danny and I were, at Pandora about 3 weeks after we opened, and it was not bad. So, let's see. I really thought I would miss the opening. Thought it would be after September. We all did. We all thought it was going to be after that. It's one of those cases where a lot of people thought it was going to be later. I did. I was wrong. Remember how I always said that I have some pretty good predictions. I'll be the first one to admit when I'm wrong. Here you go. I'm admitting I was wrong. I'm really surprised. And a lot of people I've talked to were also very surprised. So, yeah. And yeah, the overload for opening, absolutely. It's going to be an overload for streaming and for crowds and everything else. I think I don't plan on streaming it. Well, okay, here's the deal. Danny's going to probably stream from there when we're down there. I am going to probably have my high def camcorder to get higher quality video for some projects that we're working on. That's what we're going to do. Let's see. Mary, now I'm not sure if I'll go to Hollywood Studios at all. That leaves only Magic Kingdom and Epcot because we skip Animal Kingdom due to the heat. It's kind of funny because I was just talking to some neighbor friends, and they're going, she's going down with her granddaughters possibly. And the interesting part is I'm like, it also, she was talking about, what about the 1-day 4-park tickets? What if I can't get into Hollywood Studios? I'm like, I don't know. That's kind of an interesting concept. But I'm hoping that by the time she goes, they're not, the risk of it closing is going to be low. But I would also probably say you're going to have to get there an hour before rope drop. Easy. It's one of those things. Cindy, here's the thing. A month later, more will be open. The interesting part is I've been talking to a few different people, and everybody's saying it's going to probably be more towards the original opening date of late fall. So we'll have to see how it goes. I'm not conceding my November 2nd date is wrong. It's not the whole thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, opening and not a whole thing. Yeah. Okay. I could see that. I could see that. Yes, I did. And well worth it, Victor. But you know what? You stick with what works for you, to be very honest. I'm using this for other different reasons. For your show, which is good, I might add. You're doing great over there. And Be Live works out just well. Pricing is about the same. So stick with what works best for you. But, by all means, StreamYard also has some ability to, some also free options. Give it a try, see what you like, use what's best for you. That's for sure. That's what we do. We do some research development. We go with the best product for the features we need for the price we want to afford. Simple as that. You're glad you're not into Star Wars. And you know what? Not everybody is. And that's okay. Danny and I, like we talked about it, Danny and I talked about it on the show. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be there that are Star Wars fans that are probably not necessarily Disney fans. And that's okay too. I mean, it's going to be different. We're going to bring a whole new bunch of people into the parks that probably have never stepped in the park before. And I think it's going to be really, really fun to see what that's going to work out. You're doing the deluxe pan for a portion of our trip, so it takes a lot of time doing all those meals. Yeah. It does. It does. Hey, Margie, how you doing? So let's see. I've got Dark Side Roast in my cup. It's actually the only thing I've got left. To be honest with you, I'm going to probably order some. Probably going to order this, probably some more stuff and some teas after the 1st of the month, 1st of April. I don't want to try to keep too much coffee on hand because I don't want it to go stale. Yeah, John, maybe it won't be as bad as people think. There's so much hype on how credible it'll be that very few will actually go. You see, that's the thing. The people that we see on Disney boards, they're the ones that are voicing it. I haven't gone on the Star Wars boards yet to see what they have to say. Also, Star Wars Celebration in Chicago next month. In fact, a month from now, quite literally. They're going to have a panel to talk about Galaxy's Edge, and I guarantee you there is going to be a very big sparked interest over it there. And I am going to be there, and I am really looking forward to hearing what other people have to say. So all bets are off, my friend. I really do. Let's see. Never saw Avatar. Loved Flight of Passage. And yeah, and before Pandora came out, we actually watched Avatar. Or actually, let me rephrase it. My family watched Avatar. I probably saw it. That was probably my 4th or 5th time watching it. It doesn't sound like a high number of rewatches, right? Well, the version I have is 3 hours long. I've got the super mega happy cut. Let's see. Doing James Coffee Company, trying to use up. Yeah, I mean, it's like. And last week, I wasn't drinking coffee last week. I was drinking mainly tea because I was not feeling too well. And for some reason, coffee feels heavy on my tongue and on my throat, and tea just felt a whole lot better. So you kind of switched over. But I want to try some of their teas as well. Everybody says they're just as good as their coffees. I'm like, oh yeah, gonna have to do that. Let's see. Mary says, I was glad we got the room we wanted. Start off at Beach Club for Wednesday through Wednesday, and then going over to BLT, 1 bedroom. Oh yeah. I haven't been to Bay Lake Tower in a little while. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, I'm really looking kind of forward to it, only because it's like it probably won't be until at least next year that I'll be able to consider it. Next year I'll have slightly more than my allotment of points because I'm going to have a few points I'm actually going to roll over to next year. Yeah, that's right. Believe it or not, I'm not using all my points this year, but it's working out pretty well. Even though I got 2 trips already planned. Oh man, this is cool. I'm really excited about this. Wait until Danny sees this. Double checking here. Double checking stats. Okay, it's not too bad. All right, so I'm checking a couple things. Okay, so there are some things I'm going to have to work on a little bit. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Sweet. So like right now we got 17 over on Facebook. We've got 5 over on YouTube. And that's really awesome. I can see and I can see everybody's comments in one spot. I am really, really, really. You know what? Mary, this is out of the past, 10, 12 years I've been a member. This is probably the second time that I'm rolling over points. And usually when I roll over points, it's literally a handful. That's it. A lot of times I'll even, borrow a few more points, like literally 2 or 3 points just to do another room or something like that, or another night. Not this time. So let's see. Okay. And I know Saratoga's my home resort. I really like it. Tim, what's up, man? Dude, you and I have got to get together. Just all of our families need to get together sometime. We'll have to figure something out sometime now that the weather's getting warmer. I got to find an excuse to come down to Indy, which is like next to Chicago, my favorite city in the world, to visit. I'll have to figure something out. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I don't believe what Facebook says anymore. I'm looking at my console. Yeah, and I mean, that's the nice part about Disney Vacation Club is that, I can roll over points. I can borrow a few more points. I could even transfer points if need be. You know, Scott from dvc-rental.com and I were talking a little bit about how some people do that sometimes. And then also, you can also buy a couple extra points, you know, from DVC directly if you just need a couple points. So, and, you know, excuse me, sorry about that. You know, the thing of it is that I don't have add-onitis. I just don't have it. I mean, I had it for a long while. This works really well for us. And being that our son is in high school, a few more years, he'll be in college. I know that once the kids are in college, it changes the way that they do everything. We're going to probably take more vacations to stuff, just my wife and I. This is going to be one of the first trips my daughter's not able to join us. Because she's still in school. Her spring break schedule doesn't line up. And she understands that. You know, she's working really hard, kicking butt, taking names. So, you know, it's one of those things. Let's see. Sad to be missing the Indie Disney meet after going last year. Have you gone? Well, if you're going to the Walt Disney World after that, Bridget, I don't know if you caught it. Danny and I are actually going to be down there for food and wine right after the Indie Disney meet. It'd be great to meet up with you and anybody else. But I'm sorry that you're going to be missing the Indie meet. You know, it's such a highlight of what we do. I mean, not just because it's a heck of a lot of fun, but it's to raise a lot of money for a great cause, and really super looking forward to that. So, absolutely. I'm almost out of coffee. I've always been contemplating putting a Keurig here in my office, but then I'd never actually get up and get out of my office, and that's not necessarily good either. So, yeah, let me double check a couple things. I'm liking this. I'm liking this so much. All right. It got moved because it got moved a month later because of D23. And Danny and I did talk about D23. And to be very honest, we thought it would be better use of our time and limited funds to go to Food and Wine. We talked about it. Exact dates. I'll tell you that in a second here. Right now, let's see. April, May, June, July, September. I think right now this is how it's scheduled. Subject to change without us noticing. We're due to arrive in Orlando September 22nd. We will leave on Thursday the 26th. And we'll probably get there sometime in the middle of the afternoon, late or early evening on the 22nd. And we're both going to try to leave relatively late on the 26th. So it gives us 3 full days and 2 partial days is what we're thinking on how that's going to work. So that will, we'll have to see how that goes. 8 days, nice size trip. Why would I want to slow down how fast I drink coffee? I'm just kidding. You know, Tim, that would be fun. That would be really fun. Although I see all of us getting kicked out of somewhere too. Just kidding. I've learned the art a little bit of traveling with friends. I've always said I don't want to travel with family. And I'll be honest with you, I love my family. When I say family, I'm talking about my in-laws and stuff like that. And I wouldn't mind it, but there are only certain people that I really like to travel with. And I'll tell you right now, Tim, what would be cool? I don't know if you like to fly or drive down there. We like to road trip. I say we get a big caravan, get a few people coming up from up north. We meet you down in Indy, hook all up, and just keep on going. One big long group. There's always safety in numbers. I mean, for our next trip, I've already got like radios and stuff like that all prepared for our trip and so on. And it's really pretty sweet. one of my best friends who's coming with me during this next trip coming up down the road, so to speak. I mean, he's a mechanic. I'm a good shade tree mechanic. Nothing, everything is checked out beforehand. Got enough skill set in case something goes wrong. Funny part is I've got tools in the back of my truck. I even got a scan tool that comes along with me just in case something really goes bad. He's brilliant when it comes to electrical items. It's one of those things. It's like totally a safest way of doing things. The other part to it is it's really great because like I'll usually lead because I usually have, GPS and other electronics monitoring our trip up front. So I'm kind of leading the path, everything from GPS to traffic alerts to also I do plan the judicious use of OnStar to tell me different things about road conditions and where to stop and different things like that this time. And then basically I have a caboose that actually blocks us for when we need to switch lanes and so on. It's really cool. Chad, how you doing? It's good to see you, buddy. Did someone say that Danny is here too somewhere? Danny, if you're actually here, which I don't know if you are, go over check YouTube as well, my friend. And if you want to join me really quick, if you have the ability to do so, let me know. I send you a link. Whoop, my phone just beeped. Oh no, it's okay, something else. Let's see. Don't like taking other we've done it, not patient enough to wait for other people. It's hard enough getting ready now. The thing of it, good point, Mary. And the fun part about it is that those that have gone with us, we all have the understanding, hey, we're all going together, but we're not vacationing together. Do your own thing. We do our thing. We meet up together for a few things and enjoy each other. It's a time for all of us to make memories together and separate. And that is a real big thing. We all have a mutual respect for that. And it's really cool. Just like when 2 years ago when Pandora opened, I met up with Danny and others down there, and it was a great time. And we did some things together, and then we went off and did our own things together, and it was totally fine. So, yeah, it's one of those. Hey, thanks, Victor. We'll talk to you soon, my friend. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Let's see, what's Bridget have to say? We're meeting with 2 other family groups and friends, a total of 12. Yeah, never done it in a group, but I'm sure we'll split up and meet just for meals. And that's that's a great way of doing it. That's a real good way of doing it. Let's see here. Let's see. It says Danny is watching. Ooh. Yeah, must do to survive. I totally agree. So Brian says, I love learning how others do Walt Disney World, so I like joining in. Cool. I can be everything from clueless to world's best tour guide. I feel like that's just funny. We like to keep things we like to keep things simple because you just don't want to burn yourself out. That's probably one of the biggest things. Don't want to burn yourself out. That's one thing I will have to say about that. Trying to be very, very sneaky. They are catching rabbits. Well, Danny, as I said, go check over on YouTube. Oh yeah, man. I'll give you a call when this is all done. Oh yeah, Leanne's a big pro at doing groups. She does that really, really well. All right. Speaking of GPS, yeah. I just got done updating maps and software on that, so it's nice and up to date. Trying to get things I'll say ready for the summer because we do a lot of other trips. I like Kathy's got a GPS in her truck, so that's cool. This is now actually like almost a permanent fixture in my car, and even if I don't actually have a map planned in it, I like to use it just for like stats driving habits, things like that. Helps me keep track of mileage. It's really nice. Although, I have GPS envy. I saw a guy that had a newer Garmin. I mean, it was a little bit bigger, and boy, it was so cool looking. But like anything else, I just spent $650 on a water heater. I don't have really any spare change this month. I got to wait until next month before I consider doing anything like that. Oh. Who are my Georgia members out there? I got a question for you, Georgia member, speaking of GPSs and stuff like that. A friend of mine was telling me that you're not allowed to have a GPS sitting on your dash in the view of the driver. Is that totally true? Or are you allowed to have it on the dash away from the driver's point of view? I heard that they have a restriction on that now. Is there any truth to that? And if so, can you go ahead and advise me accordingly? I'd really like to know. You know what the nice part about ours is, Mary, is that because ours is done through OnStar, it's constantly updated. So Kathy uses an app on her phone to find a location. She presses a button, it automatically gets sent. And of course, if I'm driving, I could always hit that little button on the mirror and say, "Hey, can you give me directions to go to this place, please?" And you go ahead and do it. That's really kind of cool. It's not a full GPS. It's turn-to-turn navigation through OnStar, which I think is a little bit better because the navigation actually requires updates every few years, and the update discs are not cheap. I mean, you can usually find them on the black market, but it's not my style. Anyway, let's see. Just going to check a couple quick things regarding statistics. I am really surprised at how well this worked out so easily. I am so happy right now. Margie, can't wait to see you and your husband again, and everybody else, especially down over at the Indy Disney Meet. It's going to be really cool. Let's see. Nothing could be in the view of the windshield below the AS1 line on the windshield. AS1 line? Huh, okay. Oh, okay, you're using Uconnect. Okay, yeah, I've heard of that. It's really good. Hey, we'll see you later, Scott. Hope to see you then, too. It's really cool. Where is the Star Wars event in Chicago? It's at the McCormick Place, which is just south of the loop against the lake. And Bridget, are you happen to be going to the Star Wars event in Chicago? Suction cup windshield mounts are illegal in Florida and Georgia. Okay, that's good to know. And I usually have a beanbag mount on my dash. Hi, Lead. 2 hours south of Chicago. Yeah, I'm about an hour. It takes me about an hour and 25 minutes to get to the Museum of Science and Industry. And McCormick Place is just north of that, going up along the lake. So I didn't know about Illinois. And here I am. I border Illinois, and I use my GPS on my window all the time. Oh, it's a line mark 6 inches from the top of the windshield. Huh, okay. Check the top of your windshield right below where the factory tint is, and right on the right side of the windshield is a little arrow with leather. Really? I know exactly what you're talking about. So nothing can be attached below that part of the windshield. Mr. Chris learns something new every day. And I knew I can count on you guys to help me out with that. That's an interesting law. I've always wondered, what is this little arrow for? And yeah, I'm not kidding. I know exactly what you're talking about. Champaign, University of Illinois. The only school that didn't accept me when I was applying in high school. Purdue wanted me. not University of Illinois. Yeah, that's okay. I went somewhere else altogether. Let's see. StubHub has Star Wars convention tickets if you're thinking of buying. Yeah, StubHub, and there's some from Monday that are still. I myself, I have a media pass, so I'm actually really looking forward to it. Attached or via view the dash. I'm just gonna have to. What I did one time, and this is really cool. For the original Diz Truck 1, I created a cup holder mount for our XM radio. And what I did was I took a plastic cup, okay, and I mixed up a mix of Bondo, body filler. And I had some leftover from when I was rebuilding a Firebird. And I mixed it up, and I poured the Bondo into this cup. And just filled it up, and I let it sit for a couple days to fully cure. I cut the cup off. It peeled right off because it was plastic, and Bondo doesn't like to stick to plastic. And I sanded the top, down, and this, that, and the other. And there was the little mount that kind of stuck on top of it. I also painted it to kind of match the color of the interior, and stuck my XM radio on top of it, and that's stayed in the cup holder. So I may have to do the same thing with my GPS, and then have it down below the line of sight. So that's actually really kind of cool. Long photo, you can't have license plate frames. Full view of the plate. Even the design on the plate has to be visible. Indiana has the same rule. And it's one of those cases where it's not one that's used as hold on a second. It's not used as a primary enforcement item, but they can, if you get pulled over for something else, they're going to tack that on too. I don't have a license plate frame specifically because of that. Hold on one second. So, I heard that it was one of those cases, and yeah, you have to have the whole graphic. But yeah, it's one of those things. So I'll have to keep that in mind. A friend of mine found that, like, on half of his dash, his dash is plastic, where the instrument panel is. He doesn't use the tachometer or anything, so he sticks his GPS on top of the tachometer. You could still see the information center underneath and all the warning lights. He just doesn't see the tachometer, and yet has his GPS kind of mounted right there in line of sight, and no one sees it, type of thing. It's really actually pretty funny. I'm messaging Danny on the side, so forgive me for this little test. Okay. Anyway, I got to get going here in a few minutes. Because I got a few things I want to take care of. I may pop in and out. Well, that stinks. Alexa, turn off Plex server. Okay. I'll give it a second here. Alexa, turn on Plex server. Okay. All of a sudden I see a blue screen. I haven't seen a blue screen on that thing. I'll have to take a look. I wonder if it was, wonder what it was doing. So, all right. Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and get going. I appreciate all the input and all this fun conversation. Before I go, though, any last minute questions or comments that I can help you with? Anything that you'd like to, anything that I can help you guys out with before I take off? I'll be announcing some of our plans for this next week's show, probably either tomorrow tomorrow or sometime on Monday. I probably won't be doing. There's probably a very small chance of any kind of coffee break during this week. Working on some special projects at work that is going to consume a lot of my time, and there's also people that are out on vacation next week with their kids because it's spring break and stuff like that. So I'm kind of covering for other people as well. So it is one of those cases. But man, I'm just really glad to hang out with you guys a little bit today. As I said, I may come on later. I may pop in. I may be doing some other testing. It's as simple as that. But it really does seem like this new setup works pretty well. I really appreciate everybody. I really do appreciate everything, your comments and everything else, and your support, of course. And I will have a great Saturday afternoon. It will be awesome. Thank you, Nancy. I hope you guys do as well. I may even go surprise my wife at work. I try not to bother her at work, but I need to go out that way anyway. And if I go out that way, I might as well go say hi. I really super try not to. Uh-oh. Sorry. But listen, I'll go ahead and get going. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining me. As I said, if I come on later, I'll try to give everybody a little bit of a heads up. I'll maybe have some other things to talk about. Thanks again. Thanks again for just hanging out. Love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.